there is something more important in this world than the money that we stand to make at the end of this journey in crypto. Something so much more valuable, and that is the journey along the way. Now, I've realized as I've done well in crypto and done bad in crypto at the same time. I think we probably all resonate with that. But what I've discovered is that over the course of my time in crypto, that's really all it's been, time. Like, I've spent time in crypto. Now, we have to spend time in many things in life. Like, we have to spend time in bed to rest. We have to spend time eating. But what we get left with after all of those different activities that we just have to do to survive and everything, you don't really get much time left over. And this time left over is time that you would dedicate yourself, or ultimately sacrifice yourself. When you give time to something, you are sacrificing time that could be spent elsewhere, right? You have to be very intentional about what you do with that time, because it is a sacrifice. You're giving that time to the world. You're taking that time away from your life, which is finite. And so, when you think about the financial things about crypto and the prospect of making lots of money, that's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And you do need to dedicate time to that. But I think we misallocate the time and where that time goes. For example, time spent worrying is time badly spent, time poorly spent. Time spent building relationships, building business, whatever those things are, building your understanding, these are valuable ways to sacrifice time. So you kind of have to look at it. You can sacrifice for valuable, or you can sacrifice for not valuable, for distraction, for detriment. And I think there's a point in crypto where you're learning, you've been involved all this time. It's like so taxing, but you enjoy it. You kind of enjoyed it. And maybe you've told yourself that you enjoy it so that you can keep going. But there's actually a point in that journey that is sufficient for the outcome that you're looking for. The outcome that we're probably all looking for is some level of financial freedom. That's probably a given. But the level of knowledge required to actually achieve the goal is significantly less than we make ourselves believe. So, for example, if you in the XRP world, which you probably are, you've been watching videos, you've understood the problem that XRP solves in the world. You know that problem is massive. You know that Ripple have all these partnerships, and it's they're being scrutinized by the SEC, which is typically quite a good sign. This is all quite motivating. Once you know that, I've been kind of thinking about this. I kind of view everything else that happens, the daily news of things happening, the constant, we're going to the moon type content that we get overwhelmed with on YouTube, starts to be a sacrifice of time for detriment. That's overwhelm and distraction. So I guess I think almost every single person watching this video, and that's a relatively bold claim, I think almost every single person in this video understands the problem that XRP solves and has bought and invested in the right assets. Now that we've kind of clarified that, you probably do own all of the right assets and you're doing great. You've done absolutely fabulously, and you've done so because you know enough. So this constant cycle of content, trying to understand what's new to fill this gap in yourself. I've been here too. I'm not speaking from, I have kind of graduated this mindset, but I'm just sharing. It's too distracting. It's too overwhelming. It takes your attention away from what you should be sacrificing for to have benefit. This is all sacrificing time now from this moment, sacrificing time for no real benefit and actually for detriment, because it creates overwhelm and creates emotion. So in my mind, the focus needs to go on something that sacrifices your time as little time as possible, so we don't sacrifice so much time. But if you can have intensity in a short period of time, you can do something with intention that creates a beneficial result. So I would like to imagine that the beneficial result from all of crypto, as we all know, it's like we all know this, we just want to make some money. So if we want to make some money from crypto, we have to dedicate time to activities that create asymmetric results. Let's say 10 hours is 10 units of energy. So you've got 10 units of energy that you spend on something beneficial and 10 units of energy that you spend on something of detriment. So that would be 10 hours of watching YouTube videos, even though you already know what you hold. The other side, you put that same unit amount of energy in, but what you get, if it's an effective thing that you're doing, is asymmetric results. So let's say you get 10 effort or 10 units of energy and that results in 10 of the result number. So you got 10 units of energy, 10 result, 10 units of energy over here, but you might have 90 as your result score. So you get way more out of a beneficial thing than you do something that's of detriment or sacrificing your time in a negative way. It's obviously, I've got my own opinions about what needs to be focused on in order to get that asymmetric result. But I guess I'm curious, if you're this far in the video, you're kind of thinking about this already. What do you think the most valuable thing you could be doing right now is? Is it watching loads of videos that tell you what you already know? Or is it focusing your attention on something? I'd like to leave it to you in the comments to see what you think that something could be that would actually be effective for you to create asymmetric results. What could you do right now to actually push you towards that financial goal in a more deliberate and intentional way, rather than the passive for growth over that you get on this side? You kind of watch, if you're putting those 10 units of energy in, you're just hoping that something within the result of those units of energy results in something beneficial. But it's luck if that happens. Truly it's luck. Passive and luck. And I don't like passive and luck. I like more intentional and guaranteed. And I think that's what you create when you focus attention on something that is of real benefit. And I would imagine something of real benefit is something that allows you to take action. It allows you to do something, allows you to be more present, or anything that there are positive things you can do in the world and negative things you can do in the world. Being brain dead on YouTube, kind of watching all the content, it's hard to argue that that's positive. To a point, it was positive, and now it's just kind of brain dead. Then the other side, what is positive? What can you actually do? Can you spend more time with your family? Can you go on a holiday? Can you make a plan of action for your investing? Like, these are things that I think have asymmetric results. Certainly as you relate it to time and the finite nature of time and the fact that we're all going to die.